Okay, and here we have the iJoy Katana Universal Kit. This product was sent to me for the purpose of this review. Let's go ahead and open up the box and see what comes with the Universal Kit. So here is the iJoy Universal Kit. They're calling this one the Mirror Black Universal Kit. I'll go ahead and lift up on this to remove that. So here we have the ELF Mouth to Lung Tank, the Katana Rda, the Max VPC pod, and the Katana Sub Ohm Tank. And then here we have the Katana mod. If we lift up on this, we can see our iJoy Katana Kit manual, your warranty card, and then we have a box down here of accessories. Included in your accessory box is a USB charging cable, a Phillips head screwdriver, another bag with spare O-rings, grommets, 510 adapter, spare screws, and a mesh type material, spare glass tank, spare coil head for the mouth to lung tank, a spare coil head for the sub ohm tank, another spare coil head for the mouth to lung tank, and some cotton. So first up, we're going to look at the Max VPC. This is going to be a refillable, replaceable coil pod. So you can remove this top section here. This is made of a plastic acrylic PMMA type material. To remove the coil, you'll simply unscrew from the bottom. And here is your coil head, and there is an adjustable airflow at the base, which you can remove to replace that coil head. Here's the rubber gasket where you would remove to fill the tank, and here is the Atomizers base. Now, something that I was really disappointed that I did not see in that accessory pouch was a rubber insert for the Max VPC. With the original VPC pod mod, they included a rubber insert so that not only could you use iJoy's own pod, but you could also use any pod that would fit within that rubber gasket. So like the Jewel pods, the Miley pods, and the Juno pods, you could actually place down in there and use them on your mod. Unfortunately, they didn't do that with this one, so I was kind of disappointed. Let's go ahead and look at the next atomizer. The next atomizer that we're going to look at is this tiny little, it looks like it's to be about a 19 milliliter. So the ELF tank is a 20 millimeter mouth to lung. To fill it and to remove the coil here, we'll go ahead and unscrew. You need to push down on the top cap and then turn it counterclockwise to unscrew. And then you can see there it exposes the tank to fill. And then to replace the coil head, you can unscrew the base. And there you'll see there's your coil head that you can remove. And you'll simply pull up on that. And there is the coil head in the little mouth to lung ELF tank. And the ELF tank does have adjustable airflow from the largest hole opening there to the next, and each one clicks when you turn it. So while it's not on a stopper, it does have a very nice tactile click to it when you adjust the airflow. It has a non-removable drip tip. Next, we're going to take a look at the Katana Sub Ohm Tank. So the Katana Sub Ohm Tank is dual-sided airflow. The airflow ring is on a stopper, and whatever you do to one side, it will do to the other. The Katana Sub Ohm Tank is a top fill. It's a slide open, so you'll simply push to slide it open and then slide it back. Change the coil head, you'll simply unscrew the bottom. There you go, and it does come with a mesh coil. The mesh coil is called the KM1. It's a 0.15 ohm coil rated 40 to 80 watts. It does have a 810 drip tip. This is going to be like your TFV8 style drip tip. So it has the O-rings on the stem. There are no O-rings in the catch cup. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last atomizer. And this is the Katana Rda. The Katana Rda is a 24mm Rda. Let's go ahead and screw it down on a base. It is dual bottom airflow, even though you don't see any airflow holes. If you simply turn the cap there, it will expose the airflow. It is adjustable. There is no single coil option. Whatever you do to one side, it will adjust on the other side. It is a two-piece top cap. You can remove the top cap there. It'll show that nice conical size. There is no airflow adjustment here. It comes with an Ultim 810 drip tip. It does have an O-ring on the inner portion of the catch cup there. You have dual O-rings on the top cap as well as on the bottom portion of the barrel. Taking off the barrel, here is the center barrel of the Katana. So the clamp says one clamp, rule all. You can put mesh or regular round wire builds in here. The clamps are held together with two Phillips head screws, and the clamps are spring loaded there, as you can see. Airflow comes in through the bottom airflow and goes up these two very large tubes. On either side of those airflow tubes, you have a very deep 9mm juice well there. And looking down underneath those posts, you can see there is a hole for squonking. So the RDA is squonk compatible as well as able to support both mesh and round wire builds. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Katana mod. Alright, so here is the Katana mod designed by iJoy. Let's go ahead and go over the specifications. It's 94.5mm long by 30mm wide by 30mm deep. Its max output wattage is 81 watts. The display is a 0.91 inches. It can fit up to 25mm tanks with no overhang. The battery capacity is 3000 mAh with 30 amp output. Its resistance range is 0.05 to 3 ohms. Here is the fire button, your up button, your down button, and your micro USB charger. 5 clicks to turn on the device. And here you can see we're in power mode, normal, and then it starts at 1 watt and adjusts in 0.1 watt increments. If you hold the button down, it will fast scroll in 1 watt increments. On the screen here at the very top, you have your resistance reading. Below that, you have your voltage. In the center there, you have your wattage. Above your W, you have normal for the normal power mode. You also have soft and hard as an option. And then you have your battery indicator on the far right side. To toggle through the power modes, you'll simply press the power button 3 times quickly. 1, 2, 3. And then you can go between power mode, mouth to lung, bypass, pod, and back to power mode. If you select power, it'll take you back to the main screen. If you select temp, it'll take you to your temperature control settings, nickel, titanium, and stainless steel, and TCR. You also have puff reset, P mode, which is normal, hard, or soft, mouth to lung mode, which will automatically set it to 15 watts. Bypass means you're going to get the full voltage of the battery. Pod, that'll start you at 2.5 volts and take you through variable voltage mode. And that will adjust all the way up to 3.8 volts. So that is the iJoy Katana mod. Now obviously I'm not going to set up every single one of these atomizers, so let's go ahead and utilize the mouth to lung tank for this one. So what I'm going to do before I fill my mouth to lung tank is I'm going to go ahead and remove that coil. And I'm just going to put a couple drops of e-liquid down there in the cotton to help prime it. The e-liquid that I'll be using today is the Bosch Dolce Collection Indigo. This is a 70 VG, 30 PG, 3 milligram nicotine e-liquid. Just going to put one little drop of e-liquid there. Little drop on each one of those little wicking ports. And it appears that even this small, tiny little mouth to lung coil is using a mesh type material inside. You don't want to go over those threads, so make sure you stop before you reach the threads. Then you go ahead and push down and twist the cap. Grab our mod. So we're going to go ahead and put the mod on the mouth to lung setting. So we're going to do 3 clicks of the fire button. And then we're going to go to the mouth to lung setting. There we go, 15 watts. So it's reading a 1.38 ohm coil. It's going to be firing at 6.69 volts at 15 watts. We can go ahead and lower the wattage. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this down to 8 watts to start, just until I feel like the coil has broken in. So that is the iJoy Katana Universal Kit. Let's go back up top, have a vape on it, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Alright, and that was the up close look at the Katana Universal Kit by iJoy. So what are my thoughts? Well, let's go ahead and get right into the pros. Most of the pros here I'm going to mention at first are regarding the actual battery unit, and then I'll talk individually about the 4 extra atomizer accessories that it comes with. First pro is going to be that it is a 5-in-1 vape kit. So you get the battery mod here and you get 4 additional atomizers. So that's a big pro right there because you get so much in the kit. Next pro is going to be the accessories for all of the atomizers in the kit. So you get spare coils for all of your replaceable coil head atomizers. You get spare O-rings and you get spare screws for the RDA that's in there as well. So big pro that they covered pretty much all of the accessories except for 2, which I'll mention when we get to the cons. Next pro is going to be the battery life. It is a 3000 milliamp hour internal battery with fast charging. It is quick firing. It has a max output of 81 watts, so it is perfectly capable of handling all of the atomizers that they include in the package. The next pro is going to be that it fits up to 25 millimeter atomizers with no overtang. So for as small of a mod as this is, how convenient it is in the hand, it will still fit 25 millimeter atomizers with no overhang. Next pro is going to be the very easy to read OLED screen. It is kind of retro throwback, very simple, but it gives you all the information that you would need. Very easy, intuitive menu system, 3 clicks to go into the menu system, 5 clicks to turn the device off. Speaking of the menu system, the next pro is going to be that it has 6 different modes for each atomizer, including temp control. So you have your mouth to lung mode for the mouth to lung elf tank that comes with it. You have pod mode for the pod that comes with it. And then additionally, you have your regular power mode, power curve mode, where you can adjust normal, soft, hard, and temp control on there. So lots of variable functions there with it. Did I mention bypass? It also has bypass for it. So with the mouth to lung mode specifically, I'm going to talk about that for a minute, is if you set it to mouth to lung and you're using a mouth to lung tank, what it will do is it will cap your wattage at 15 watts. What that means for you is that you don't have to worry about accidentally putting a mouth to lung or a high ohm atomizer on the device and it firing higher than 15 watts, thus burning your coil. So that's really nice. I like that they have a setting in there that will not allow you to go over 15 watts, because that means I don't ever have to worry about accidentally firing a mouth to lung coil at 50 or 60 watts. Now we're going to get into the individual atomizers that came with it. The tank that I have right here is the iJoy Katana Sub Ohm Tank. I gotta say, I'm really digging the Sub Ohm Tank. Lots of airflow. It has that mesh coil head in there, so I'm getting lots of vapor and lots of flavor. The airflow on it wide open. I'll go ahead and let you listen. It is on the little bit on the louder side. And I have that running at 55 watts, and I believe this is rated, the KM1, yeah, is rated 40 to 80 watts, so I'm not even pushing it as hard as it could go. and I like to close it down off to about halfway. Really nice, flavorful, dense clouds. The only con I have for the Sub Ohm Tank, by the way, another pro of the Sub Ohm Tank, is it is top slide open fill and 5.5 mLs e-liquid capacity with the bubble tank, 4 ml with the straight glass that they include. So big pro on that. Now, the only con I have, and it's a subjective con, is the slide open fill method. It's pretty loose. It slides really easily. And the only thing I worry about slide open tanks like this that don't have any kind of safety pull up and slide mechanism is that they open really easily. Excuse me. They open really easily, meaning that you could possibly open this up in your pocket or your purse and cause leaking because there is no filament there over the gasket to prevent e-liquid from coming out. So that's my subjective con for that tank. Now let's go ahead and get into the two that I like the least, and I'll save the best for last. So the next one is the Max VPC Pod. Now this is a plastic kind of tank here. It's a PMMA, acrylic, whatever, plastic tank, but it has a removable, changeable coil. And then the adjustable airflow is located on the bottom of that coil. So here's why I'm not a big fan of the Max VPC. When they originally released the pod mod with the VPC pod, they included a rubber adapter to go down into that base that allowed you to use your Jewel pods, your Miley pods, any pods that essentially that would fit down into the rubber base. This one, they changed up the contacts a little, and it is slightly larger. I think the original was 19 millimeters. This one might be 20 or 22 millimeters. They didn't include a little rubber stopper to use with other pods. So the only thing I'm going to use the VPC with is the VPC pod. And to me, it's a mouth to lung tank. It is very, very restricted, mouth to lung. It's not a direct lung. I mean, you could very, very restricted direct lung on it, but it's, you know, a plastic tank with replaceable coil heads. Now, I will say regarding the coil heads they're using for this Max VPC, it's a mesh coil head. That's interesting. So the flavor on these are significantly better than regular round wire coils. But the reason why I don't care for it is they didn't include an adapter. To me, this is no different than my favorite, which is the ELF mouth to lung tank, which has high ohm mesh coil heads in it. Before I talk more about that one, let's talk about my most hated atomizer out of this one, the Katana Rda. So I have several problems with the Katana Rda. The airflow on it is really turbulent and has almost a whistly effect there. It is bottom airflow, as you saw in the down low. It's got like that Kennedy style two airflow tubes down there. Several reasons why I don't like this RDA. One, they made it a two-piece top cap, which was completely unnecessary. It could have been a one-piece top cap because there is no airflow adjustability at the top. It's all in the bottom, and it is on a track, so it locks. That's good. That's a pro. Really, the clamp system that they have on here, the ceramic block that they have there are no ledges to keep your wires from slipping off of that bottom platform. So that's a con for me, that there are no ledges to prevent your leads from slipping off the bottom platform and catching between those negative post screws and your positive block. But the biggest con for me is they didn't include a 510, a regular 510. Out of the box, it comes pre-installed with a squonk pin. And in the packaging, there is no regular 510 pin. So that's a big con for me. This mod that they're including it with, the Katana mod, is not a squonk mod. Why pre-install a squonk pin on a RDA that you're selling with a non-squonking battery? Just didn't make sense to me. So I'll be completely honest with you guys. I opened this up. I did attempt a build on it. I attempted to place a coil in it, and I didn't like how the coil was clamping down. I didn't like how the airflow felt. I didn't like that it had a squonk pin. There were so many things I didn't like about this RDA that I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop right here. I'm not going to try and vape anything in it. Just too many flaws for me for this RDA. Could have been a good RDA. There are some promising things on here, but I think they need to go back to the drawing board. So enough about that and the things that I hate. Con for the battery. I do have a con for the battery. Two cons for the battery. One is subjective. It's an internal battery, meaning you have no way of replacing the battery, and once that battery dies, the whole device is rendered useless. I would have liked to see this be a single 21700 battery mod where you could replace the batteries. I think that would have been awesome. Pretty sure you can get 81 watts out of a single 21700 battery. That would have made this much better. And the next con is going to be, it is an internal battery and there is no vape while charging. When you plug this device in to charge, you can't vape on it while it's charging. It does have really fast charging, which is a pro. I find that I can plug this up and within 20 to 30 minutes it's charged and I'm ready to vape on it again. But no pass through. You guys know me. If you're going to make an internal battery mod, you better make it have vape while charging, because we want our vapors to always be able to vape on their devices. So that's the final cons on the battery. Now let's talk about the ELF mouth to lung tank. This teeny tiny little, I believe I said it's either an 18 or 19 millimeter mouth to lung tank. Top fill. It has one of those safety top fills, so if I just spin it, it's not going to come open. I actually have to push down on the top fill cap and twist to unscrew it. I like that. Child-proof. It does have adjustable airflow, so you have airflow holes on one side and it goes from the largest to down to the smallest, which is a super restricted. Real quick, I'm going to put this in mouth to lung on my options here. So I'm going to go ahead and select mouth to lung, and that automatically defaults it to 15 watts. I actually like to take this down to 12 watts. It's a 1.36 ohm coil is what it's reading. So 13 watts on the smallest setting. That is a super flavorful, true mouth to lung vape. I love it. They're using mesh inside these tiny little above 1 ohm coil heads, which is producing really good flavor and vapor. Taking it all the way open. Restricted direct lung on that. Loose mouth to lung or very restricted direct lung vape off that. And the flavor on it is really good. I am in love with this little ELF tank. I think, forget the whole universal kit, just give me the ELF tank with this battery mod, because at 13 watts, I vaped on this device for 3 days without having to charge it. 3 whole days vaping this with the ELF tank at 13 watts. That's fantastic. I can see this being a great starter kit for a smoker transitioning to vapor, because you get that good mouth to lung. You can use nic salts in this, or you can use high milligram freebase nicotine, or you can use low milligram nicotine. It's handling my 70 VG 30 PG e-liquid. No problem in this. Like I said, I'm getting great flavor. So with all of that being said, that is the iJoy Katana kit. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you aren't already, click that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get notified the next time I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.